and welcome to my rug hook and talk show. I'm still working on my rug and my mat. I'm going to open it up today, the show, by just taking these off. Whoop. Okay. And show you exactly what the rug is starting to look like. As you know, I use this little frame with clamps, and these actually are really, really tight, and they hold on really good. But if you have any kind of joint problem, these probably wouldn't work for you because they are really, really hard to open up and put back on. So anyway, we got that done. Take my little thumbtack off. Okay, there you go. There's what the frame looks like. Okay, so I'm going to open this up just to get an idea of where we're at with it. Okay, it's got a little curve. See that little lumpy thing, that little bump in there? That comes out when you steam it at the end and block your rug nice and flat. So basically that's what the mat is looking at like. So I just wanted to show you in regards to the background how I'm using not one color green. Actually, these are a few different color greens that I have chosen to use in here. And you can see there's all different kinds of greens. There's a pretty dark Kelly green, and it's all variegated. It's all dyed to be kind of two-tone, three-tone, has different colors, levels of green, I should say, not different colors. These do not have different colors in them. They're different tones of green. This one's more like a sagey olive green, and then there's this one is more of like just a tie-dyed tree or grass green, and then there's a darker one. So there's 3 or 4 different tones being worked on in the rug. So why do we do that? Well, it adds a visual interest when you're hooking the background that has nothing else going on, and it's a pretty simple picture. The flowers have some different tones which I threw in to give it a little interest, and they're supposed to be tulips, red tulips, and just added a little black in there just to give it a little interest on the edging. And this is solid gray. There is no tone change in this gray. It's kind of solid. And let me see if I can get it a little closer. There you go. And so, oop, it's fallen. But just so you can see, it's a solid gray color. Okay, there you go. And the variegated colors on the background, or the different tones of colors, and add a whole different dynamic to the background and make an otherwise bland or non-interesting background very much part of your rug, and adds a lot of visual contrast to what else is here. So, I mean, clearly this picture is not very interesting. It's a picture, it's gray, it's just, you know, kind of there. But when you add this background in with all these different design elements, you know, hooking them in scallops around the top, will add a whole different dynamic. Adding a few waves will be so different than just, you know, maybe hooking across. Now, don't get me wrong, hooking across adds a whole another look and feel to a rug, and I did that in one of my rugs. So if you look at video number 6, you'll see a gallery of rugs, and the blue one under the sea has all the effect I was trying to achieve. It has all the background hooked straight across. So, and when you're working on a small little rug hooking frame like this, you have to move it a lot. So that was very time consuming for me, but I enjoyed every minute of it, and I love the effect of the rug. It's got a lot of movement to it. And so that's what this also creates. It creates a little movement without adding another color, or without trying to overdo your background or add too much to it. It just makes it for a very interesting piece of artwork to look at if it's just sitting someplace, or even if you put it up on a wall somewhere, or up on a mantle or a cocktail table or something. It just, the colors just add a lot to it. So that being said, I just wanted to show you, because I was cut off in the previous video. My battery went dead, so I apologize for that. We were looking at yarn. So this is all being hooked with wool strips. Just so you know, I do hook with both. And go ahead and try hooking with both. It's so much fun. Okay, so these are Violet Jane. She has a website. Look it up, Violet Jane. I'm not sure if it's .com. Oh, it's right here. Look at that. Can you see that? Okay, so there you go. So these are her greens, and these are they're just outstanding. I mean, she does a beautiful job. Her yarn is an art, to be quite honest. There you go. There are so many beautiful colors. There's one here called Comfort. I'm going to pull it out for you. I don't know if you can see the colors too well. Let's see if I could do it like this. Again, there's just different tones in it, and they're just beautiful. They're just absolutely beautiful. And here's some of her purples, and if you can see them, I'm holding them to the side because clearly holding them like this is not going to help you. But here we go. I mean, they are just stunning. And go ahead and get a color card. Absolutely worth it to look at these beautiful, beautiful colors. These are the reds. And here's one. Again, Fiesta Day. I mean, oh gosh, imagine hooking a leaf with that. That would be something I'm going to do. So here you go. Let's see. Can you see that? Look at all the colors in Fiesta Day. It's a little fiesta going on there in that yarn. There you go. Okay. And really fast, her yellows. And they are variegated. Mostly tone on tone. There's not too many different colors added on to those. The blues have a little bit more different tonality with some purple in there and white and gray and green and all that great stuff. So there you go. And just, well, I have it out. She does have 3 widths. She has the 6 ply rug yarn, I guess maybe for weavers. I'm not sure. I've never used that thickness. She has a thin worsted weight, which I'm sure is probably great for binding your rug. And the one that I've showed you is all the thick, you know what? Again, let's do it like that. So there you could see the different widths of yarn. The one in the middle is what I would probably whip a rug with. And this is very, very thick. So I don't know if it's for weavers or what you would use that for, but everybody's working with different products. So that is Violet Jane. Again, let me just show that to you. There you go. Okay. And I believe Amy Oxford is also carrying her yarn. So that's it. And then there's Halcyon yarn, which is also a very good grade of rug hooking yarn, and it's from New Zealand wool, and really, really beautiful. Again, so but the best price on those yarns, it's Seal Harbor rugs. So keep that in mind. If you're looking to, you get a discount on 44 for $9 a skein. That's awesome. So if I were you, I'd get some. Get it while you could. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this back on and maybe move it so I can get to a different section now. And sometimes I do that just so you don't get a little bored of doing the same section. No trick to this really, just you put it on and then you just keep pulling it. I might tighten these up for a while so they stay still. And that's pretty much it. So these are easy. I mean, they're not a lot of work, but like I said, if you have a problem with any wrist strength, you might have a problem with these because they clamp on real tight. So there you go. We got them all back on. And they do hold it on. If you've noticed, I never put clamps where it's been hooked already because it is kind of rough on the wool and I don't want it squishing it, so I usually just will put these guys back in and they work really good. They're easy to get off. They still hold it in place, and then you can kind of just tweak it up here. And I try to use more of what I could or these, because these do hold them a lot tighter. So I try to use as many as those. And then, like I said, on the hooked areas, I use these. And it's not that bad. But I'm looking to get something a little tighter. So I'm going to be getting that Anderson frame. And as soon as that comes in, I will keep you posted on that. Okay, just scrambling, looking for some thumbtacks. But that's not so bad, so I think I might just stick with this like this. Okay, so here we are, hooking it up again. And yeah, so really quick, I just wanted to show you, since we were on the variegated kick here of using different tones, and you don't have to use just solid color yarn or solid color wool. Here's a piece I did not too long ago, because I am going to be using this to make a rug, and I will show you how I'll be using that when I start that rug. But that's a really great piece, and it's going to be used, I would say, in my next rug. So we're back to doing some hooking here, and I'm looking for my green, and I think I have a piece sitting up here, so let's continue. Yes, I do. There's a piece right here. But I don't normally hook from left to right. I normally hook from right to left. And if you notice, I move this around as I see fit to do that. So what I'm going to do is, and go ahead and feel free to do what works for you. Okay, so what I'm doing is to get back to the direction of how I'm comfortable hooking. I just put up a loop to bring me back there, and that's it. And so now you just continue hooking and filling in the area that you've been working on, and you know, that's it. From time to time, like I said, I change the way I hold my hook, the position, just to take off the stress of any chances of getting carpal tunnel or anything like that. So that's what I do. And I try to vary, you want to vary the colors green so that you get that very mottled look, that very interesting tone that you could only get by doing that. Now you could have had one piece of wool that you did all these different tones, and then that's another option. You could absolutely just hook with that one piece of wool, cut it into strips and just use that with all the tones in there. I didn't happen to have that, so I'm using up different pieces of wool green that I have already had, but not enough to do the whole background, so I combine them, and that will help me get enough. Hopefully, I might still have to be hunting for some of this yarn, or dye up some to get that color back. So, you know what? That's what the beauty of this craft is. Sometimes it's very unexpected, the changes. Sometimes you do stuff to your rug that you wouldn't normally do because out of necessity, or you run out of a piece of wool, or you thought you had enough. And you know what? That's what the women years ago did. And you just have to go with it sometimes. But good planning with your yarn, and you shouldn't get to that place, because it's not always fun to get to the end of your rug and all of a sudden, 2 inches or so of yarn is or of wool is missing to fill in a spot. That is not going to be fun. So you try to have enough, or at least know if you have a source to get some more. And that's it. So we're just hooking around the curve of the handle on this vase, this pitcher, I should say. I keep calling it a vase. It really is a pitcher. And that's about it. I like to cut my little pieces off as I go along. And here's my snippet bag. And basically, we can get another one off right here. There you go. So that's pretty much how I do it. I tilt this. Now there are frames that swivel and tilt, and it all depends on what you like to do. And obviously if this swiveled, that would be amazing. I would like that. But unfortunately, all the frames that I went looking for that swivel have the carpet grips on them. And because I hook with yarn too, I was told it's not the best. It kind of pulls the yarn out a little, so I don't want to deal with that. And so what I did was research frames, and I'm settling on that Anderson frame that has the little spikes, little tiny soft, like dowely hooks that come up. Over here they come up. No, on the side they come up, and on the edges they come down. So you put this over, and then you press it on here, you press it down here, and then I think there's a little crank on the front to tighten it, and you're done. That's it. So that looks good for me, and nothing to scratch my arms with or pull out yarn. I think it's going to work out really good. So if you're in the market for a frame, go ahead and give that one a try. And he says he will take it back if it doesn't work out for you. He said he will take it back for a full refund. So I'm paying $115, I think it's the cost, and that includes shipping. So I'm okay with that. That's something I could live with, considering I've never really bought any large piece of equipment for rug hooking, which is really a great thing. I mean, you don't need, this is really working for me. If I had to keep using this, that would be fine too, but I figured let me try something new, because I just don't like repositioning this with the clamps all the time. So I figured it'd be nice to just get a different frame, and it's portable. And what's nice about the frame that I ordered, or I will be ordering, is that you could also get a stand that's compatible with it. So if you want to take it someplace and not work on the tabletop like I prefer, you could get the stand. And it's all portable. It all, I guess, screws and folds together, and there you go. So, so I'm just going around the corner here. Let's see if I can get a little closer to this so you can kind of see. Let's see if I can even zoom this in a little.